This your boy Ricky Lou. Got a lot of clips headed your way. Today I'm gonna do Halo Wars 2. I have two clips just recorded when I was playing the campaign, showing you all how to do certain things like do supplies if you're a beginner to the game, set up supply pads, maybe a little strategy or whatever. But it's basically the campaign or whatever. It's about the banished, which is they were the Covenant at one time, but they were banished. You know, that kind of speaks for itself. But like overall, I've been enjoying the game. So far, there's a lot of characters you can use, a lot of DLC characters, a lot of returning characters from the first series or whatever. Pretty much enjoying some of them characters like Forge. I can't remember. Cutter, yeah, Cutter is one of them, and Arbiter is one of them. So surprised they didn't have a profit around this time, but you can have me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called Ricky Lewis. If you can't understand how to find it, it's a picture with me. I have like sunglasses or shades on or something like that. And also, you can add me on here on Xbox Live. It's Ricky Lou, capital R, capital L. So I hope you all enjoy what I'm doing. This might be a weird clip, you know. I like to have fun, but yeah, let's get into it. I have a lot to show you guys, so please enjoy. Subscribe to my YouTube and holler at me to get more. Thank you. So yeah, let's get back into it. This is where I was starting up at. As you can see, I'm navigating through the title screen for the Halo Wars 2 game. I'm about to start a campaign up, and I'm starting a new game. I believe I was doing, or I was starting from a point where I was at. Well, I'm just finishing up. As you can see, there's Cutter right there, one of the returning characters from Halo 1. The mission was clearly said we have to get Professor Anders to the center control room to clear the Halo all the banished forces. With me being a beginner, I was never good at real strategy games, but I played a couple. It was a game I played on PlayStation called Alien vs Predator. They had a strategy when I was real into that one, but I plan on doing the same thing with this one. You know, I know there's a lot of fans out there of Halo. I'm a big fan of the series. I've been playing since I was like 12, so you know how that is with everybody and how they enjoy Halo and that experience. It's a really good game. 2018 is gonna be a big year. As you can see, I'm constructing a base here that they started me off with. There's a supply pad, and I'm navigating to see what else I need to create. Doing this game, you always want to create two supply pads and a generator to keep your product coming in, keep your forces strong, and you don't have to upgrade right away. You always want to get your forces out and prepare for an attack first, because you never know what the enemy might be thinking. So that's a good strategy to use that I always use. A lot of my friends use. As you can see, there's a lot of action going on here. We're fighting off the banish, and just let you guys enjoy some of this action. Right now, those are leader powers that I'm navigating through. Those are also things you can summon to your display at your disposal, or whatever, if you want to use. They're real good. Your leader powers come in handy, but they're real good in a moment of crisis. It can make you stronger from the beginning. What you choose, they're like upgrades too, but you have passive abilities and all of that.
Supply pack. What's that sound?
The installation has released a retriever.
Okay, that's a retriever sentinel. You actually can use that. One of the characters actually, I think Anders, if you play with her, you actually can use that. It takes, I think 40 of your units to be able to create it. Like, I've actually used Anders a couple times. She has access to the sentinels. They're very good at defending and attacking, I assume as well. But I've done both, just to be blunt about it. So whether you're attacking or defending, they're real good for ground forces or what say you or whatever. I'm pausing the game here. Okay, now it's back up. Jackrabbits, they're good vehicles for scouting. I don't know why I just summoned one there. I think it was like a distraction, I believe. Those garrisons, they're also good for like on-site seeing. Like if you want to expand your site so you can see forces coming from a mile away, that's pretty good for that. As you can see, I failed that mission or whatever. It was pretty tough. I didn't know what I was doing starting off. I just had to experiment with it to see what I was doing first. Now I think I'm about to restart it.
The tide of banished reinforcements arriving on the ring, but Atriox has already managed to gain a foothold near Alpha Base.
Our troops have been trying to reach the ring's control room, but the routes are cut off by a banished shield.
Isabel, she's pretty good too if you want to use her. Like I think she has reduced costs for forces or whatever. I think it's cheaper for her to build forces or building cost goes down. Something like that. Of that nature. Let's try this again once more with feeling. You have to really be careful, man, playing this, because it's easy to lose. Like if you lose sight of the objective, as you seen me do. So please don't do that. Try to understand what you're doing first. Like this campaign, so I was really just experimenting to see what was going on. But this time around, it should be better. I also have a part 2 after this for you guys to look at, just for this mission. Those look like the reserve forces right there. The resistance, just an ally on the field, just helping out. See Spartans right there, doing their job, man. Spartans kick butt, man. I don't know what it is about them, but I like watching Spartans fight. I don't know if you all remember that clip from the first Halo Wars where Forge needed them to buy him time or whatever. That was a badass fight scene.
Spirit of Fire actual. We've secured the base, but our forces are scattered.
And Spartans are very effective in this game too. Like if you want to get a lot of forces eliminated or you want to charge a base, just get you a small group. I would say get you maybe 2 Warhogs, a Spartan, and a couple of ground troops if you want to take a small base. Get you a couple that buy you time to upgrade as well. That's a good strategy to use that I always use. If you want to take out some small base that's located on the map, maybe as small as these supply crates that I'm doing. I mean supply pads. Yeah, as you can see, the fight's still going on. They giving me access to these, and also those tanks that you see shooting right there. Those are called Kodiaks. They're very effective for defense and guarding the area. Like they can shoot from a far distance before enemies even make their way to you. They already shoot before they even make it, so the enemy will be already damaged and fatigued by the time they make it to you. It's always a good strategy to use. And the numbers that you see by them are their veterancy. Like there's a 1 above their Kodiak. The more veterancy you have, the more damage that experience that the vehicle has, or troops or whatever, anybody can gain it. I like to use, in my opinion, in firefight mode, that's the best thing to use. Get you some veterancy and try to keep your forces alive. I made it like to wave 50 or 60 something is my out firefight. There are also people who play Firefight on Legendary and made it to almost 100, and some people have made it to 100, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, but
Our allies
you have to
are
have a good team. It's also a 3v, it's also a 3 versus everything if you want to take a couple friends in there with you. That's always good. Have some backup. As you can see, there's the Sentinel again.
That wasn't easy.
It's only retreated for repairs.
We had made a
We'll be
retreat
back soon.
by doing so much damage to it.
I've marked
I think it
3 control
returns,
points.
like you gotta
If you
keep
can
holding
secure
it off on this
you should
mission.
be able to take control of the retreat. Until then, keep out of its way.
You know, just for once I'd like a straight up
Just checking here to see if I have things upgraded. As you can see, those forces has become my own. It's something that it does on during the campaign. And my indicator is green, so they let you know that's your forces, and it was yellow at first, like as AIs starting off. As you can see, I'm doing some more upgrading, bringing some Cyclopses out. Cyclopses are very good against vehicles that's on the ground. They can't shoot air vehicles, so if they bring air vehicles to you, you might be in trouble unless you have ground forces like Marines or something like that to hold them off. Let's see. Quite done here. About to get into part 2. Thank you guys for watching this part 1. We're about to get in part. Okay, guys. So this is part 2. Let's see. I got airpad units coming. Those are units that come from the air, like you have Hornets, you have Vultures. You have to go to your armory. I'm sorry if I didn't explain the armory. Armory is where you have where you can summon your heroes. Like for certain people, like say if you was playing with Arbiter, you can summon him. If you playing with Anders, she had a retrieval center, as you just seen that we was battling. Even right now, I think I have a Spartan that I can summon. Unless they're all, I think they're already out there. But yeah, you have, depending on who you play with, you have certain heroes you can summon. But from the armory, it's going back to the airpad or whatever. You have a Condor as your super unit that you can use. Condors are very effective, and they can wipe out units quick and fast in a hurry. Like, it's very powerful, especially if you have veterancy all the way up. It's very good for that. I would recommend everybody have a Condor if you're trying to wipe out a lot of units or trying to win a game. But going against another person who has Condor, some people like to have 2 Condors. So a good strategy for that is make sure you have a lot of ground units to take them out that has veterancy on them. Right now, I think I'm trying to create or build some defenses here. Upgrading the base, trying to keep everything attacked. I think this is basically, we had the control points A, B, and C, and keep the retrieval sentinel from taking them over. As you see, I got units moving out, headed to let's see here. I forget which point that I took first. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, it looked like we're landing on.
I'll take good care of the islands.
What are we waiting for? Let's go.
I think we're waiting for the retrieval center, because as you can see on the map right there, there's a big red dot. So that is the retrieval center that we're fighting. I think I was gonna I was fighting it off first, then I was gonna go to take over a certain point, because during this mission you had to keep the retrieval center back because it was taken over by the bandits. Like, they had control over it. As you can see, I'm headed to a power node right there. Those are good too. For power, if you want to capture them, gives you more power. You always want to have the upper hand on your opponent when you're going against somebody. Like, make sure you go for your captures first, build you a unit and go for those. try to hold it off. As you can see, I got my Spartans hijacking my Hornets. They actually make the vehicle more powerful when your Spartans hijack them and control them. Cause if the vehicle get destroyed, your Spartans still survive. Like they still stay out there and fight till it's the end or whatever. So it's kind of baiting the vehicle, but it's playing it safe at the same time. See, I got some I forget what those are called. That's healing my units, but there are air units that can actually heal you. I think those are called, I want to say drones, but
Hostile target is down. Over.
I can't remember at the moment. I think they're called Nighthawks. That's what they're called. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that, y'all. But they're called Nighthawks. They can heal your units. Like I said, depending on what leader you use when you're playing the game. Like, for instance, Serena, I think she has Ice Hawks. They heal, but they can also attack and freeze people, I think. Like I said, so every leader in the game does something different. That goes back to what I was saying in the beginning during part 1. You have new leaders and returning leaders that do different things. So I always test them out and try and see which one you like. See, I'm going back to the base here to upgrade it. You also want to get your see, I'm doing my upgrades now because I have bought myself enough time to do so. You all want to upgrade your things. Right here, I'm getting some logistic that makes you build your units faster, so you won't have to wait so long to build and waste so much time. But like I said, in the armory, you can. There's a lot of upgrades you can do to your heroes or whatever, or to help your units out. That's a passive ability I'm using.
Headquarters upgrade complete.
Now we're attacking B to take that over. As you can see over there in the over there to the right, where that see that big red circle right there that's indicating that my allies on to attack the yellow units from before.
Okay, that's opened up systems.
You can see out there where it says retrieval center, so icon right under it says Bravo base. So I have to go help them.
Ready to make some scrap, boss.
Adjusting elevation.
Allied base is under attack.
See, I have my Nighthawks there healing my base. They're really good at healing. Especially if you get some veterans on them, like, they're very effective. Their special ability, however, can make, once you shoot, you hit Y and hit the smoke, it can actually make your units go invisible to where people can't see them. That's actually effective as well. Right now I'm making forces to get ready to go help Bravo.
Allied base is under attack.
You also got to do that and try to keep the retrieval center away at the same time. As long as you have 2 areas controlled, it won't be a problem because you can still win. Like, as long as your enemy has 1 point and you're dominating the battlefield, it really doesn't matter. Like, it's all about who has the most control.
Reinforcements level 2 researched.
As you can see, I sent my Nighthawks and some forces over there to heal. Now they're attacking me. Which is my Kodiaks probably attacked them before they even got there. So taking some of my forces here to try to take this point over here. I believe that's point C. I have different forces everywhere. I'm trying to get some things under control here.
Heads up, hostiles.
Also, if you're not sure on how many upgrades you have, or you're not sure how many upgrades your bases have, as you can see under my power right there, where it's in the thousands, the yellow numbers down there, by my map to the left, you can see my base is upgraded to level 3 down there, and that's the max. I'm building some siege turrets there. Those are basically like Kodiaks. Those are the guns that the Kodiaks have.
Combat mechanics research. searched.
Those siege turrets at your base can also shoot enemies from a distance to slow them down. Kodiaks are really effective, but you have to lock them down with their special ability, which is hidden wire. And they, cause they're really they're effective, but they're ineffective. They're just riding around. Like, they take more damage, I believe, than when they lock up when you hit wires. Their special ability. We got to be wrapping up here in a minute or so. I wanted to just show you guys a mission of what the game was like for me and strategies you could use that I wanted to share with you guys. There's a lot of people out there that use different strategies, but some of mine were effective, and I wanted to just help people if they wanted to use it or try it out.
Ready to stop some hostiles, sir. Got order for me, sir?
But keep this in mind, air units take out, ground units take out air units fast. And your vehicles on the ground take out ground troops fast. And your air takes out the vehicles that's on the ground. So it's really vice versa when you think about it. So that's all I have for you for today for you guys. I appreciate you for watching. Like I said, follow the YouTube, subscribe, add me on Xbox Live. And I thank you all for watching. I'm from Memphis. Thank you.